Endpoint security solutions can typically defend endpoints from known threats, but their ability to automatically adjust to deal with new, evolving threats is very limited, or in some cases non-existent because of the technical methods they rely on to identify and stop any threat. Whether an AV type of endpoint security solution uses a new approach, such as machine learning, or relies on traditional approaches like signature or file types, really doesn't matter because both approaches use static methods to identify a threat. Static methods either compare a potential threat to an existing database of threats or to a set of fixed rules or policies that state if a potential threat shares certain specified characteristics, then it must be treated as a threat. Unfortunately, attackers understand these methods all too well and can exploit their inherent vulnerabilities and gaps to test their attacks against an endpoint security solution until they successfully bypass it unnoticed. And that's when the real trouble starts. Further compounding this gap is that even if an organization's endpoint protection solution blocks a threat, analysts aren't able to determine what was actually stopped or whether the incident was part of a series of attacks or simply a standalone attack. Without visibility and threat insight to determine what the attacker was trying to accomplish and how they were operating, let alone where the attack originated from, means analysts are blind to the details they may need to modify their defense against a threat. Companies today must understand that traditional endpoint protection platforms, or EPP, even with all the products included in an EPP suite, simply cannot address all key elements to effectively protect their endpoints. Instead, this requires a next-generation endpoint protection platform that combines endpoint detection and response and a continuous flow of threat intelligence and endpoint behavior analysis and prevention. The goal would be to automate as much detection and prevention as possible, while giving analysts the information they need so they can avoid wasting precious time chasing down incidents that are ultimately not threats. With instant visibility into every endpoint and access to all of the information they need, analysts can then determine the nature and state of any threat in real time and respond accordingly, all from within a single system that utilizes historic antivirus and includes advanced technology that automatically looks beyond simple signatures or rules to give analysts the information and visibility they need to rapidly evaluate endpoint activity. This real-time window into threat activity means analysts can quickly assess a potential threat, determine what the attacker is trying to accomplish, identify the attacker's origin, and most importantly, decide whether it should be dealt with immediately and how. Now is the time to maximize automation and to give your analysts the visibility they need to keep your organization's endpoint secure, allowing them to focus their attention on real threats, not false positives.